Oh, afternoon, everybody. I hope you are well today. Welcome to my channel again. I seem to be doing daily updates at the moment. Loads of stuff to talk about. Obviously, some new stuff about Zubimendi. I've also got some unbelievable stats about Zubimendi, which you probably don't know about. You know, I'm the stat man. It's been absolutely crazy. You're not wrong. You are not wrong at all. The amount of fume from all the other channels, all Liverpool related. If you haven't watched the Mark Goldbridge video, you should probably watch that after mine because he looks like he wants to slit his wrists. Absolutely love it. Absolutely love it. And what I love about it more than anything else is nobody knew. Nobody knew. There was no media that knew about this signing. Nobody knew that we were going to go in for Zubimendi. Nobody reported it. Nobody talked about it. It was completely silent until we allowed it to be talked about. And that's what I love about Michael Edwards. That is what I love about Michael Edwards. And I can't wait for the fume to carry on. Honestly, like, you really need to understand how good this guy is. He is the best in the business. Like, Liverpool now is on silent mode. Like, nobody will know about anybody or anything that's going on at the club until we allow it to be heard. And that's exactly what's happened. It's exactly what's happened. Like, the David Ornstein release, he couldn't tell you who it was because the club put him on an embargo and they said, look, we're going to sign a defensive midfielder. We're going to look for a number 6. He's not going to be in the Premier League and you're not allowed to tell anyone who it is. This is who it is. Keep your mouth shut. And guess what happens? Ornstein kept his mouth shut. He couldn't say anything until 24 hours. And then everybody knew about it because we told them what to do. And that is the difference at the club now. That is the difference at the club. Big up, big up. Hit the like button for Michael Edwards. 100%. Hit the like button. You know what? The next signing after Zubimendi is going to blow your socks off because we all sit there and we go, "Oh, we were never given any money. Watch how much we spend on the next guy because the next guy is real." And the stuff I did about him, I'm going to do a comparison in a bit as well towards the end of the show. And you're absolutely right, Toxic. The sources are real. The sources are real. We are in conversations with Bastoni. We are in conversations with Bastoni. Apparently, Inter Milan do have to sell players, and it could be either Barella, Bastoni, or Martinez. Is it Martinez, the striker, the really good striker, the Argentine guy? Yeah, has he been right about other stuff? Has he been right about other stuff? Okay. Take it with a grain of salt. You can take what you want. You can take what you want with a grain of salt. But the Bastoni stuff is real, and if you want to look at how I think it's real, who did who did train in the team at Inter, who's now at Liverpool? Who was there? Who was actually playing for the club? Who played for the club? Who came through their system? Who came through their system? Richard Hughes. Richard Hughes. Richard Hughes played for Inter Milan. Richard Hughes played for Inter Milan. And you also need to think about it as well. It is Lautaro Martinez. I was right. I just didn't say the first name. The interesting thing about Bastoni didn't come through Inter Milan's youth team. He's not a Inter Milan youth team player. He came through Atalanta. He came through Atalanta. So he has no allegiance to Inter Milan Bastone apart from he's one of their star players. So if you can get a player out of Inter Milan who isn't from Inter Milan's academy, it's interesting. It's interesting. Um, he told Cal about Zubi supposedly before it all came out. It, it, okay, so there's the Zubimendi stuff. The Zubimendi stuff. Anyone can kind of really think that we're going to sign Zubimendi because everybody wanted Zubimendi. Yeah, there might have been multiple pages saying Zubimendi before Paul Joyce, but it was David. It was look. Nobody said that we were in contract talks for Zubimendi. No one said we were going to activate the release clause. No one said he was going to come to Liverpool. The only team he was linked with was Bayern Munich and Arsenal. That's just a fact. Like all the other media outlets were just clutching straws. They were just making stuff up. Like they didn't know. They didn't actually know. Like I could have said that we were signing Zubimendi, but I had no source. Like I had no actual source that I could go back to and say, well, this is where I got it from. But it's the fact that they got it from the club. Yeah, he probably got it off David Ornstein because David Ornstein is a top Arsenal journalist. David Ornstein was told that Zubimendi was Liverpool's target. He was told that by the club. He was told that by Liverpool. Like that's just a fact. Like they were all told that, but they had an embargo that they couldn't tell anyone until 24 hours, which meant that we were that close to agreeing with the club or with the player. Like we can all sit here now and we can go, oh, we're still in contract talks, or we haven't agreed a fee, or any of this stuff. We don't know that. Like Liverpool are probably so far down the line that it could be announced today that Zubimendi signed, like, and his medical's booked for tomorrow. Like, like we don't know how far down the line are. We're only being told what we're allowed to be told, and that's from Liverpool. There's no leaks. Like, if any of this was leaked, it was leaked weeks ago because that's probably when the conversation started. You know, the conversations probably started before the World Cup, and it's obviously continued. And we probably waited for Slot to come back and go, right, I can't make that midfield work. I need a guy to be the metronome. Who can I get to be the metronome? Well, probably the best in the world to be the metronome, apart from Rodri. So I'm going to go for Zubimendi. Oh well, he's already said no to to he said no to Barcelona last year. By the way, in case you didn't know that, he turned down Barcelona last year. That's from Graham Hunter, by the way, who knows everything about Barcelona. He's turned down Bayern Munich, and he's also turned down Arsenal. Do you really think we've got a chance? Well, let's get Richard Hughes on it and see what he can do. He's got the same agent. He's got links to the agency that runs Zubimendi. And the interesting thing about Zubimendi is who's Zubimendi's hero? Zubimendi's hero is Alonso. Alonso was a legend at Liverpool, apparently, to everybody else, and he had an amazing time at Liverpool. Zubimendi came from the same club. Alonso's his hero. Does he want to follow in the same footsteps? Maybe. He was banking on a move to Barcelona until they sound Olmo. He turned them down last year, and he said he'd wait for them this year. Barcelona went in a different direction. Zubimendi's in a corner where he's like, well, what do I do then? Like, I'm waiting for Barcelona. They've just signed Olmo. Do I want to go to Arsenal, where I might end up in a really competitive team with Rice, and I'm fighting for my position? He might have looked at Arsenal and gone, there's a lot of midfielders there. There's a lot of competition. Does that really fit my style? Looks at Liverpool. I can follow in Alonso's footsteps. I can be that guy in midfield. The position has been made available for me because nobody's fitted it. So Slot goes, right, you're my number 6. You go in as my left-sided midfielder. You and McAllister in the double pivot. That's the way I'm going to go. That is the best midfield double pivot in the whole world. I don't care if you're looking at Real Madrid or Bayern Munich or Manchester City or Barcelona, anybody. That is the best midfield double pivot on this planet when that kicks in. You've got a guy that completely dominates for the Argentinian team and had a great season with us last season, whether you like it or not. He did. And then you've got a guy who is quite possibly the third best midfielder in the world in that position for me, behind your Rodri's and your Tony Cruz, who's just retired, so he goes into second place. It's the guy's numbers are insane. I'll go into him in more detail in a bit. You kind of started me off because people were talking about him straight off the bat. I've got loads of stuff about him. I've got loads of stuff about him to cover, but I wanted to go into a bit more detail about some of the players that we were targeted with, that we're not targeted with now. Also some updates on potential players moving. I also wanted to look at some of our ex-players that aren't particularly doing well. Also some news about Liverpool in general. A player that's turned us down. Some massive updates on Zubimendi from reputable sources online. And then I also wanted to go into bit of a bombshell drop about Mo Salah, which you might not know about, which is now dropped in a couple of media outlets. I also wanted to look at potential left backs as well and do a comparison on 4 major left backs that we're definitely looking at and kind of put them up against each other. And that's it so far. Okay. So first of all, we're gonna have a look at this information here. Let me just bring this in. So it looks like so obviously we're talking about Zubimendi's say 70 to 80% done in my eyes. Obviously Timo Kupermeier was a big target. Slot really liked him. He's now gone on strike at Atalanta and he's forcing the move to Juventus. So I think we can put that one to bed now. So I just wanted to cover that one off. And also, I don't think I want a player who put himself on strike to force a move to another club. I'm not sure that's the type of player I want at my club. So we kind of move on from him. Another update on another player. So Bobby Clark, Leeds are going to progress with the chance to sign him. I believe he's going to have a buyback clause in his contract, so we'll be able to buy him back in the future because we rate him highly, but we don't see him as a first team player right now. And the fact that he's only just turned 19, that makes a lot of sense. The fee's around 12 million. Leeds were looking at a guy called Sarah from, I think it's Norwich, as a replacement for Archie Gray, but he's gone to Saudi Arabia now for 20 million. So they're now looking at other options, and Bobby Clark's high on their list. So that's another one to keep an eye on. Let me just close that. This one's okay. That's Zubimendi, so don't need to talk about that. I'm actually going to close that tab. So this one's an update on Yeah, so this one's an update on Joe Gomez. So West Ham are in talks with Tobido, Jinkler to Todibo. So they're in conversations with Todibo. So if that deal doesn't happen, then Joe Gomez is their backup option. The reason they're looking at Todibo is because he's 30 million. So he's a cheaper option, and they've spent a lot of money this season already. So they may come back in for Gomez. They may come in for Gomez if Todibo doesn't go through. The interesting thing about West Ham as well is their centre back. So their centre back Kurt Zuma is actually having a medical in the next 48 hours in Saudi Arabia. So they'll be losing another centre back. Like the turnaround at West Ham is going to be mental. Like they've lost all their left backs, they've lost all their right backs, they've lost the goalkeeper, they've lost three centre backs, they've lost two midfielders, um, a winger. Like seriously, like they are being absolutely decimated. Well, maybe not decimated, maybe just like a real transition. So I wouldn't think as West Ham as being any kind of threat next season um, to the top four or even maybe the top seven because they're having such a huge turnaround in their team, and they haven't got a brilliant manager by the way in Lopetegui. He's not a great manager, so it'd be interesting to see what happens with them. But it looks like Ketsuma's off, which means that they'll be looking for a centre back because at the moment they've only got Max Kilman and Mavropanos or whatever his name is, the Greek guy, as their centre back pairings, which isn't a huge amount. So they'll need another two probably. So they may come in for Gomez. They may not, but I just wanted to let you know. Um, Also, another update here. I think this has got legs, by the way. It looks like Celtic are interested in Ben Doak and Owen Beck, or they might go for Ben Doak and Bobby Clark. So Clark's an interesting one because if Celtic lose Matt Riley, then they see Bobby Clark as a replacement for Matt Riley. I'd be okay with that. How do you feel about that, chat? I'd be okay with Ben Doak and Bobby Clark going to Celtic, maybe on loan or maybe with buyback clauses on them. Um, would you be okay with that if they both went to Celtic for, we sold them for Celtic for, I don't know, 12 million for Clark and maybe 15 million for Doak, and we put buyback clauses so we could buy them back for like 20 million each? Would you be up for that? Because is Ben Doak ever going to get into the first team? Like, so if Mo Salah stays for another year or two, then is Ben Doak going to replace him? I just don't see it. I see like a Mohamed Kudus or a Kavashkali or someone like that. And the fact is, if we're linked with the likes of a Zubimendi and we're looking to sign a Zubimendi type player now, who was an A plus player. Like he's an A plus player. Like if Zubimendi didn't have a £50 million release clause, he's a 90 million pound player. Like let's all just be realistic about that. Like he's better than Declan Rice, who went for 115. So Zubimendi is a 90 million pound player straight off the bat. So if we're looking at players at that price range or that kind of class, to go into our first team, then is Ben Doak ever going to be that player on the wing? I just don't see it. I really don't, unfortunately. Unfortunately, I just don't. I see us signing a Mohamed Kudus or a Bakayoko after he's had like 2 more years, or a Kavashkali, you know, I see us signing a 23-year-old who's about to go on to big things. Like I don't see us bringing in an 18-year-old who's done nothing. Like I just don't see it. So for me, maybe Ben Doak and Bobby Clark could be sold with a buyback on. It makes sense. It's what Man City have been doing for a long time, and it's worked. It's really worked for them. Um, yeah, big up Brian. Apologies I couldn't do the show yesterday, mate. There was just so much. There was so much stuff on Zubimendi. I ended up doing 3 shows, so I didn't have time, mate. A big up Gary. Also big up Ottoman. I put this as a subscriber show, so anyone who's watching, if you want to write any comments, just hit the subscribe button, and instantly you'll be able to write comments. Just wanted to let you know. I put this as a subscriber only because I'm going to go through some detail on left backs, which I think is kind of subscriber based. I've done a bit of research on this, so put a bit of groundwork into it. So I'm hoping that you'd subscribe to watch this, and please hit the like. Amazing stuff. Yeah, big up, keep it real. Big up Luke as well. If you are new to subscribing, also please put it in the chat that you're a new subscriber, and we'll obviously say hello to you, and I'll give you a salute, and the rest of the chat can welcome you as well. It's quite a new channel that I've got, and I'm kind of growing at the moment, so it'd be great to have you on board and part of the family. So the next one I want to go through is where are we? So that's the Ben Doak stuff. This is the latest. This is an interesting one, this, because Florian Pettenberg has mentioned that he said he wants to go to Borussia Dortmund. This is maximum beer, and the interesting thing is, Dortmund haven't made any offers yet. So until they make an offer, he's still a player at their club that is waiting. So Liverpool haven't given up on this guy, by the way. I just wanted to let you know that we have looked at him. He is of interest. Yeah, he is a striker. He is a striker, toxic. Yeah, that one makes me laugh because we were linked with him for so long, and everyone was kind of having panic attacks, going, "Who's he? Why are we looking to sign him?" And Manchester United are about to sign him and give him 100 grand a week. He's done nothing. Yeah, I feel like he could be quite special. So we have watched him a while. He's on our list. I wouldn't count this one out yet because I don't think we're going to give up on this one. And if you also look at the Zubimendi deal, he was odds on to go to Arsenal. Like everyone thought he was going to go to Arsenal. Like they just did, but we just didn't give up. But we just didn't let anybody know that we were working behind the scenes. So maybe we are with this one. I don't know, but I just wanted to let you know about him. I also wanted to let you know about Naby, who's just a joke. Like quite embarrassed actually. Quite embarrassed for the player. Like he's been binned by Werder Bremen now, and he's been put up for sale after a year. He's basically been faking injury. He refused to play. He's been dumped in the reserves. Like we do have to be quite honest that there's a lot of players that left Liverpool under the old manager that have just not been good. They've just not been good when they've gone somewhere else, which really does prove the point that we massively overplayed players and gave them huge workloads, which basically just burnt them out and kind of put them on the scrap heap. So when they go to another club, there's just nothing in the tank. It's an interesting one. What you got there, Zubimendi? But yeah, I know it would. Wouldn't it just, mate? I know. We also need to look at the guy's passport because I swear he's 40. Uncle Albert's already told us this. Next one is a nice bit of news. Nice bit of news from an old player. So Daniel Agger has been employed as an assistant coach for the men's national team. For is it Denmark? Is it Denmark? Oh no, sorry. So is it Denmark? I can't see if it's Denmark. It doesn't actually say, does it? Does it say Denmark? Okay, so obviously Thiago's coach at Barcelona. We know about that. Daniel Agger employed as new assistant coach for the men's national team and national coach Morten Weghorst. So can someone write in the chat whether it's Denmark? Because it doesn't say. Yeah, he was a fan's favourite, wasn't he? He was a massive fan's favourite. Yeah, it's unfortunate about Naby. Yeah, I agree with Mane as well. I think Mane's pretty much done as well. Yeah, so congratulations on yeah, it's Danish. Yeah, big will keep it real. Yeah, so congratulations on Daniel, on Agger the Dagger, with his new role, which is good. It's really interesting as well because so many ex-Liverpool players become managers or coaches. It's a huge amount. Like it's a very high percentage of ex-players from Liverpool end up getting into football after they finish their careers in management or coaching. Doesn't seem it's a huge amount for other clubs, but Liverpool is like really high percentage. So I just thought I'd point that one out. Also, update on the actual club, on some of the internal business. So we've got a new deal with another massive partner, which is Lucozade. So I'm pretty sure you're probably going to see some of the players drinking Lucozade in adverts soon. It's an interesting one as well because in the past year, we've got Google, Japan Airlines, Husqvarna, Strauss, Orion Innovation, and UPS all on the books, which is around the 300 million mark, which is just incredible stuff. Like Liverpool are going to be the number one marketing brand in the world under Edwards. Like the club is so well run, it is phenomenal. It really is, guys. Like we have to be so pleased about that we're in such good financial footing for the future. What was that? Suarez, Sterling, McMahon are the only three players recently to leave and have real success. It's a fair point. I mean, yeah, Sterling did with Man City. You're right. You're right. Yeah, it's a fair point. What's that? Rumours going that Zubi might be hesitating, and not that I've heard. But I can talk about that as well. Yeah, man. Yeah, I think Milner is. I also think Lallana is as well. By the way, I also think Lovren would be as well. I think there's a lot of players which can be management material who leave Liverpool. It's just a thing, isn't it? It's really interesting. Um, okay, so I've got a ton of stuff to talk about Zubimendi, but I did want to drop this one, which I don't know whether it's true or not, but there are rumours that the Saudi are going to come in for Mo, and we will accept anything over 100 million. I don't know whether this is just nonsense, but it does look like. I mean, it's from a couple of sources. I just wanted to cover this. So FA State Liverpool are braced for a mammoth bid and will find offers in the 100 million region difficult to refuse. Despite being 32, Salah remains one of the world's deadliest wingers. Salah looks like he is ready to go again this season. Um, but but I don't know. Like I personally don't think he will. I personally don't think he will go. Um, what do you think in the chat? Do you think if we got 100 million plus, we'd sell Salah? Let us know in the chat. I don't know. I'm not convinced that we would. This is also in the COP Times. So this was actually an Anfield selector. Saudi Sports Prime Minister. We've received a statement from the club that there was a desire to sign Mo Salah. The amount was astronomical. Sorry, this was last year. So this was a 1 year loan that was talked about. So this could actually just be regurgitated news. But according to Football Insider, obviously the stuff I've just talked is Liverpool are bracing themselves for another massive offer from Mo Salah. It would be difficult to refuse an offer of 100 million plus for Salah. We rejected 150 million last year, and we also rejected a crazy loan deal. Like I don't know how much that loan deal was, but if it was eye watering, then that's a really big amount that we turned down. So that was that. What people said about Salah? Would you sell Salah for 100 million? Yeah, I think Salah stays as well, mate. I do. No deal. Love it. They will let Mo leave for free. I agree. I do agree. I do agree that I think Mo is probably the one that they will accept to walk out the club at the end of next year. I'd replace Mo with Rodrigo. I've already talked about that for quite a while. I actually put my neck on the line and said that Rodrigo would be a signing. What's this? Trust me, it's not just Zubimendi for Liverpool. They're looking at other positions. Yep. Well, I wanted to actually cover that, so you kind of stole my thunder, bonkers, but it's okay. What's the Virgil stuff? Yeah, I don't know about Virgil. I think Virgil likes his rock concerts too much, so I think he might just retire. Like, just I don't know. Like, I think Virgil will probably play till he's in his late 30s, mate. He's in such good shape. Um, massive thanks here. There's 63 of you watching, which is great to see. If you can please like and subscribe, that would be amazing. This is a subscriber chat only. So if you are watching and you do want to talk in the chat, just quickly subscribe. You will be instantly allowed to chat. I haven't put like a 5 minute notification on. It's literally straight away. So just hit the subscribe button and you can start chatting with everyone. If you are a new subscriber, please put your name in the chat and say new subscriber, and we'll give you a welcome. I'll give you a high five or a salute. really want to grow the family. 71 people in here, absolutely buzzing, brilliant. Hope you're all enjoying this channel. Okay, let's get to the Zubimendi stuff, eh? Why not? Okay, so this is the latest I have, which is from Ravello, which is very, very reputable. This basically translates that Zubimendi has accepted Liverpool terms, and Liverpool are ready to activate the £60 million release clause. Okay, and this was at 9:13 last night. Okay, it's very reputable, and this one's being talked about by a lot of outlets, by the way, and this is obviously from Spain. Let me just close the Salah stuff. This one also came out last night as well from David Ornstein. Real Sociedad expect Martin Zubimendi to accept move to Liverpool, according to Sociedad sources. Club will still need to agree fee. The fee's not an issue. Okay, so what's being discussed is Liverpool are looking at two options. Okay, we're looking at activation, full activation. So if you don't know how it works, we will pay the fee to the Spanish league. They will then put that into a brokerage. That will then go to Zubimendi and his agent. Zubimendi then becomes a free agent. This is how it works with release clauses, by the way. Zubimendi becomes a free agent. The money goes to Sociedad, and then Zubimendi then signs for Liverpool. That's how it works. It's a really interesting system, but that's how it works. The club have absolutely no say in the release. Like, the player is released onto a free by the Spanish league because the activation clause has been activated. However, Liverpool are looking at a deal where we pay £64 million, but we pay that over a number of payments, which means that Real Sociedad get more money, but we don't have to pay everything up front. The only thing I will say about Real Sociedad is Real Sociedad made more money they have ever made in their history last year because of the Champions League, and that money is now coming in to the club, which means that they're not a selling club. And they also sold their star centre-back to Atletico Madrid, who also played in the Spanish final. Real Sociedad had 3 players in that final, by the way. They had Namond at the back, they had Zubimendi in midfield, and they had Moreno in midfield. So Moreno isn't going to go to Arsenal if Zubimendi comes to Liverpool, because they don't need to sell. Okay, and Moreno's got an activation clause of 53 million, but Arsenal haven't got the money to spend. They haven't got the money to buy him, and he's a 28-year-old. So Arsenal only went for him because they thought they could get him cheap, and they're not going to sell him on the cheap. So I thought I'd give you a quick update on how that system works. Okay, but look, we have to be completely honest here. Why would Liverpool announce to the journalists that we're going for Zubimendi if we didn't already know that he was going to come to us? Like, regardless of the club, the club really isn't an issue, because if we really wanted him, we just pay 51 million and it's done. Okay, it's the player, it's the agent. That's the important piece that we need to talk about, not the money. The money's irrelevant. We can just get a loan from an entity to pay that off. We have the money. It's the player. The player is the type of player that doesn't leave his club. He's the type of guy that turned down Barcelona last year because he wanted to give Real Sociedad a Champions League year. That's what he wanted to do. He was committed to the cause to play in the Champions League for his club, for his boyhood club. This is the type of guy that never misses a game. This is the type of guy that always stands up. He's always there. He's always available. He is a Xabi Alonso regen. Like, make no bones about it. This guy is world class. This guy is going to be an incredible midfielder for years to come. Like, he just is. Like, Spain took Rodri off, and you thought, oh my God, you're taking Rodri off. What's all that about? They took Rodri off and brought him on and look better. Like, this guy is absolutely sensational. This is an A+ signing. Like, whether we know anything about him or not, this is an A+ signing. He just is. He really is. Everybody wanted this guy, but this guy didn't want to go. So for us to get this one over the line, this is why we have the adults back at the club. This is why we have a stellar COO and a stellar director of football back at the club. And we took Hughes because of his Spanish and his Italian links, and because he knows the leagues and he knows the agents of the top clubs in these countries. No other clubs have really got relationships where they can prize star assets out of top clubs in Italy and Spain. It just doesn't happen. These players don't leave their clubs. Bastonis don't leave Inter Milan. Zubimendis don't leave Real Sociedad's. These don't happen. These players don't come to the Premier League. Like, it never happens really. Like, the reason why we got Xabi Alonso, if I'm completely honest, and Arbeloa, is because of Rafa Benitez. That's the reason why we got those players. It wasn't because of the pull of the club or the pull of the Premier League. That was the pull of the manager. That was because Rafa Benitez had just won the league with Valencia, and they know about the guy and they want to play for him. And they managed to prize Pepe Reina and the likes of Xabi Alonso, and you managed to prize them out of those clubs. That hasn't happened since. That just hasn't happened. Like, nobody's doing it. Like, Rodri wasn't all that when Manchester City signed him. He really wasn't, and he was pretty poor for them for about 6 months. So you really have to sit there and go, we've got something special here. If we're getting players like that out of these clubs, then we need to be excited. And we've all sat there and gone, oh, Slot's never going to be able to pull any of these guys. If our first signing under Slot and Hughes and Edwards is Zubimendi, and our second signing is potentially Bastoni, and then maybe our third signings, not Cavascaler, who's the bloody goalkeeper called? Can you put in the chat the goalkeeper that we're looking at as well? Then this is the real deal. Like, we're back in business. Like, and you can't have this conversation with me about, oh, we haven't got pulling power. We certainly have. We certainly have if we get Zubimendi. We definitely got pulling power, because he turned down Mamardashvili, big up Christian. Like, if those three are our first signings, whoa, they're signings. Okay. What else have we got? Okay, so the Salah stuff talked about. Okay, so there's a bit more I've got here about. Okay, so a bit more here about Zubimendi. You might have already read this, but I just wanted to go into the David Ornstein piece. The problem has been twofold. There's a release clause in his contract, and it needs to be paid in full, unless Real Sociedad are willing to negotiate a lower fee. Okay, so what I just discussed is we are negotiating whether we can pay them a higher fee, but over a space of more time. Okay, so in the end, they get more money. Okay, and we're negotiating 64 million, just to let you know. Okay. There's been no sign at this point. If they are to lose someone like Morena, his teammate, and get a decent fee for him, the financial necessity to sell them will be even lower. And that's right. And that's what I just talked about. While Arsenal move for Moreno could affect Zubimendi, it won't. the Spanish has a release clause in his contract. Liverpool need to, and they could skip club negotiations. There you go. Like I said, Arsenal could affect the move. The only way Arsenal can affect the move is if they spend 53 million on Marino and get him out the club before Zubimendi. However, if Zubimendi wants to leave, there's absolutely nothing the club can do if both teams pay the release clauses. They both pay the release clauses, Moreno goes and Zubimendi goes if they both want to leave. That's just done and dusted. And let's be honest, they both just won the Euros with Spain. They were relatively star players. They're entitled to want bigger paychecks, and they could earn 3 times as much money. They're both on 50 grand a week, I think. They could both earn 150 at Liverpool and Arsenal. Why would you not? Moreno's 28, Zubimendi's 25. Why not? Like, you probably want that. You probably want players to have the ambition to do that, and why would you stop them? Also, update from Joyce. Liverpool are on the cusp of significant midfield reinforcements with their pursuit of Zubimendi, as reported by Paul Joyce. Spanish inject more control, blah, 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 blah. Zubimendi, several clubs, including Barcelona, whose former coach Xabi wanted him. He turned them down. His decision to stay at boyhood Sociedad speaks of his loyalty and development of a player. Played 40 times, demonstrating his consistency, his technical ability and composure, and I'll go into this in more detail. He is quite possibly the best player we could sign for Slot for what Slot wants us to do. It's just a fact. Here's what his agents have said. His agents have said, okay, here, according to Mundo Deportivo, okay, according to Mundo Deportivo, where is it? Here. His agents are playing down the speculation. Of course they are. It's claimed that the players' agents have said that it's just another rumour, but they have also admitted there is still a lot of time. Although Liverpool's season gets underway next weekend, the Reds have until the end of the month. Yes, Liverpool would have wanted a player like Zubimendi for the start of the campaign. This would be a huge deal, which is a real statement. Okay, so basically his agents have said it's just another rumour. Well, of course he's going to say that. Liverpool could scupper. Obviously, that would be amazing if we did. Like, if we did literally mess up Moreno's transfer move to Arsenal, I'd love that. I'd absolutely love that. We'd all love that. Also wanted to cover what Mario Suarez of ESPN has said about him. Real Sociedad have been courted with little success by the likes of Arsenal, Bayern Munich and Barcelona. However, it now seems the Merseysiders could be about to make a breakthrough with one of Europe's most exciting midfield talents. I quote, well, this is an amazing player. I don't know if you watched the final of the Euros. He got in because Rodri was injured. He changed the game. Yeah, he basically beat England. He started to steal balls to play offensively. I don't know if physically he has what the Premier League. He does, and I'll cover that in a bit. He's a very clever player, not the strongest or fastest. That's true. He's not the fastest, but he's not in the team for that. He's not a type of player we're used to watching in the Premier League. In Spain, he's compared to Xabi Alonso. A lot with all the difference and all of the respect. I think he's a 70 to 80% of what Xabi gave Liverpool. He'll be a great signing. Let's see what happens with the release clause, but I can tell you about him that he's really good player, really good quality, good long pass, good short pass, technically very intelligent, clever player, physically can improve. I think he'd be a great signing for Liverpool. Okay, that's what Mario Suarez said about him. Also, give you some quotes from the spoofer, Romano. Liverpool want to go very big on this one. Liverpool feel that they can reach an agreement with Sociedad or trigger the clause. What do you mean, or trigger the clause? All we got to do is offer 51 million. So Liverpool are very optimistic on the club side. Now working on the player side. Many clubs tried to convince Zubimendi in the last years, Barcelona, Bayern, Arsenal. Many clubs spoke to the player. He wasn't keen on the move, but now Liverpool are going very big, using the ability of their directors. Listen to that. Using their ability of their directors to persuade the player. I wonder who that could be. Director of football, maybe? Richard Hughes, speaking to his agents. How does that sound? Slot's got nothing in this. Slot's not involved in any of this, and this should be exciting. We should be really, really encouraged by the fact that our coach is not involved in any of this stuff. For far too long, we had somebody at the club who was meddling with transfers that shouldn't have been meddling with transfers and got us into so much shit that we ended up having to wait a year for Virgil van Dijk, and we ended up not signing a number of players because we weren't allowed to talk to the clubs anymore. And we also got reported for tapping up on numerous occasions. I get that. Slot would have given it the green light, 100%, but he wouldn't be in any conversations with Real Sociedad or agents or players. This has all been done by directors. This has all been done by the right people, by the qualified personnel, by the people who were employed at the club to do that job. This is what's happening now. The right things are happening. Should be excited by it. To present a contract proposal. Isn't that interesting? We're going to the player to present a contract proposal. We're not going to the club with a mad offer and not even speaking to the player like we did previously with Caicedo, if you remember. We're actually going to the player. So we're presenting contract proposals to the player and the agents, and we're not even speaking to the club. We're doing all those things first, and then we'll do the other stuff last, in the right order. So Liverpool are actively working on the deal for Zubimendi, working on the player side, working on the club side. So the top target and a new midfielder is Zubimendi. Liverpool are in. Liverpool are working on the deal to sign. First point, let me say, this would be a fantastic signing. Special midfielder, brain is different, top category, just like I said. I know maybe this player is not well known around Europe. He's playing in the Champions League. He had a brilliant Champions League run, by the way. They did really well, Sociedad. They were only beaten by PSG. Like they outplayed them for large parts. When we saw the quality, also with the Spanish national team, he's been doing it with La Liga and Real Sociedad on a regular basis. He is fantastic. We can talk about all of this in a bit, but my word, sensational stuff. Okay, let's have a look at some of his numbers. Like, okay, should we wax lyrical about him a bit more? Are you ready? Zubimendi won 55% of tackles in the midfield for Real Sociedad, which is only marginally eclipsed by McAllister and Endo and Gravenberch. So he's playing in a team which doesn't play like Liverpool play to a certain extent with the amount of tackles. This is under Klopp, by the way. This isn't under Slot because it's going to be different. But I think that's an interesting fact. And interceptions, Zubimendi's tally of 37 interceptions was superior to McAllister's and Endo's. Endo, 20 interceptions. That is a big difference. Endo was not good at interceptions. Like, that is a major flaw in what we require in midfield, is interceptions. 37, he was better than McAllister, and McAllister was pretty good last season as a DM, by the way. When broken down, the numbers recorded per 90 minutes on the pitch still comes out top with 1.25 every game. Aerial duels is insane. Zubimendi's 5'11" and he's got 61% aerial duels against Endo. Endo's really good at aerial duels, by the way, for a small guy. Also, ball recoveries. Spanish tally of 169 recoveries in 23-24 season, second only to McAllister, and also per 90 average of 5. So he's basically like, if I really want to break it down, he's basically like a McAllister, but better at tackling, better at headering, and also better at recoveries. Like, which is exactly what you need, because Slot wants a guy that can do what McAllister can do, but can also do the defensive work. He can also do the defensive work. Some other numbers here as well. Just want to talk about his dribbling as well. So far, we looked at Zubimendi statistics in terms of work off the ball. Figures show that he has the aptitude for beating opponents one-on-one at 66%. He's better than McAllister at one-on-ones, at beating players. So that means he's press resistant. It means he can go past guys into the final third if he wants to. Passing accuracy, Real Sociedad midfielder completed 85% of passes, which perhaps surprisingly for Spanish international is inferior to McAllister, 86, and also Endo, 87. But he also passes a lot more, by the way. Like we're not discounting that. However, when we look at the long passes, 68% in long passes. So he's really good at passing long as well. And we've got a lot of players that can do that. McAllister can do that. Trent can do that. Virgil can do that. Obviously, we've got obviously we'd have Zubimendi and Mack in midfield that can do that. And also goal and shot creation. One noticeable aspect where Zubimendi has scope for improvement is, of our current CDMs is obviously shot creation. Plays differently. Like he's not there to create goals. He's not there to create goals, and we don't want him to. We've got other players that can do that. Just going to show you a box here which has got the numbers. Tackles won, 55%. That's Zubimendi in his Real Sociedad team. It's different for Liverpool. This is a high tackling, high value, high risk, high reward midfield under Klopp, where people are dogged, people have got to win their battles. It's not going to be the same under Slot. It's not going to be the same under Slot, but he's still pretty good, better than Gravenberch. Only slightly behind McAllister, and McAllister was pretty good last season. Much better dribbler. Much better at interceptions. Much better at interceptions per game. Aerial duels off the chart. Ball recoveries really good. Dribbles completed much better. Pass completion not as great, but still really high. Long passes good. Shot creation not fantastic. Remember McAllister played as a high 8 as well towards the end of the season, so those numbers are skewed. Also, Gravenberch didn't really play defensive, did he? So they're skewed. And also expected goals, not too bad either. In terms of breaking up play, Zubimendi would appear to be an upgrade on Endo, McAllister and Gravenberch, although that's to be expected. And Spanish excels in terms of progressing. His XG figure is also respectable. Like everything about him is just A+. It just is A+. And also wanted to give you this stat as well, which is bonkers. This one here. Oh. Since 2019-20, 71% of duels he wins in the air. He's better than any other midfielder in the world in the last 4 years. Like he doesn't lose. He doesn't lose his duels in the air. Like his core strength is really good for him to be able to win that many aerial duels. Most random fact: if Zubi deal goes ahead, we will have 4 Spain eligible players on the books. Oh yeah, we got Welton, Lucky, and Pitt. Fair point. It only suits attackers. Space. Okay, I'm having a conversation with someone there. Sorry. Also, big up Spider, by the way. Big up. If you're a new subscriber, please say hello in the chat, and we'll give you a shout out, and I'll give you a salute. 65 of you in here. If you haven't liked subscribe, please do. As everything I've covered on Zubimendi, I'm now going to quickly go through the left back options, and I'm going to go through left backs in more detail as well. Hope you've liked the show so far. I know it's crazy, it's absolutely crazy stat, but it's a good stat to have. Like, Zubimendi is training with the squad for Sociedad's upcoming friendly. Deal can't be all close to that yet. I don't know. He's allowed to train at the club. Like, he's allowed to train. Like, we certainly want him to. Like, he could easily just get pulled away for a medical. Like, that could be easily happening. I think it's a lot closer than we all think. Okay, so I'm just going to close a couple of tabs, and then I'm going to go through the left back options. Where are we? Mendy stuff. Just closing these tabs. Okay. I'm actually going to keep that tab open because I thought that was a great page. Also for those stats, I also want to give a shout out to Adrian. Sorry, not Adrian, Dennis. I also want to give a shout out to Empire of the Cop for those stats. Absolutely amazing stuff with those stats, and also Carson on Twitter, who came up with the aerial duel stats, which are brilliant. What's that? Firmino's medical and signing was done. Yeah, totally out of the blue, mate. It was one it totally out of the blue. So was Fab. So was Fabs as well. Like, Fabs was just done. Boom. Like, he was there. Like, in a Liverpool shirt. You're like, what? Okay, so where am I? Okay, I'm on the main screen. Okay, so I'm going to quickly cover. I'm going to quickly cover this one because I do believe that we are close to a left back who's going to play centre back as well. And I've got 4 players in mind, and I'll tell you my reasoning for these 4 players, and I'm going to do a comparison on them, and then I'm also going to go into more detail why I think these could be. I think these are on the list, by the way. I do think these are the 4 top players on the list. And I'm going to go through this now. This is left back options. And that's why it's subscriber only today. If you subscribe, you can start writing straight away. Let us know if you're new to the channel, if you're a subscriber, and we'll give you a shout out. Okay, so first one is this one. This is really, really interesting because the player has actually said that he wants a new challenge because he's not first team. He also didn't start the game yesterday against Arsenal, just as a note. So Liverpool are in talks with Zubimendi, blah. Leipzig are interested in Tyler Morton. This is just brief stuff. August is looking busy. Fabrizio Romano has said that Liverpool are very busy looking at players and we're going to be active. And you also have to read between the lines. Richard Hughes clearly said in his interview, Liverpool were waiting for the Euros to finish, Copa America to finish, and the Olympics. And I want to specify Euros, Copa America, and Olympics, because all these players that I'm now going to talk about were all at these tournaments. They were all at these tournaments, and one of them still is now. I just want to specify that. We've already been told this information. It's not like the club aren't telling us what's going on. They're telling us we're going to have a busy August and there's going to be a late flurry at the end of the window and we're going to get players. We've already been told that by Slot. We've already been told that by Richard Hughes. And Zubimendi's now come up, now that he's back off holiday, away from the Euros. And now there's big links towards other players. And we're now going to talk about these players. Mamardashvili was on international duty at the Euros. Okay. He's just come back off holiday. Now we're in major talks for him. Okay. Okay. Pierre Hincapié is open to Leverkusen exit after Liverpool interest. Drop this one today. Is now one to watch. The 22-year-old defender could leave Leverkusen in August. Hincapié is open to a new challenge as he wants to be a regular starter next season. There are inquiries and talks with other top clubs, but no agreements yet. And Liverpool are massively, massively high on that list. We've been linked with this guy for a long time. For a long time, we've been looking at this guy. The versatile defender. Actually, I'm sharing this tab now. Yeah, sorry. The versatile defender, making over 40 appearances for Leverkusen last season, as a bit part player, by the way, would be a great addition to a club like Liverpool, who are in the market for a left-sided centre-back to replace Matip. Valued at 60 million, Hincapié would be the ideal follow-up signing for Liverpool once Zubimendi is through the door. And news that the defender wants to leave should send a clear message to the Reds. Hincapié would be a dream defensive signing for Liverpool. 22-year-old can operate as both a centre-back and left-back, offering Liverpool depth in two key positions. Heading into a new season with an addition in defence could be huge for Slot. With Hincapié keen to leave, Liverpool could come to an agreement rather quickly with the youngster, who could easily slot sold into prospect. Okay, you have to look at Hincapié now, yeah? Hincapié, he's not a bench player, by the way. He's not a bench player. Like, for me, Hincapié comes in and takes the left back slot, left back spot. I nearly said slot. He comes in and takes the left back spot, like, straight away. Like, if you think about it, it's really interesting. Like Jamie Carragher waxes lyrical about this guy. So, okay, so you get Zubimendi, left-sided midfielder. Yeah. Biggest issue is if Zubimendi hasn't got the legs, hasn't got the capacity to cover all of that left side, we are certainly not going to have a attack-minded left back. It's not going to make any sense to have a left back that's always going to be in the other half. It's just not going to make sense. So to make sense of the team is to make it more balanced, is to have a left-sided centre-back who can play left-back, who can fit into centre-back when we're out of possession, and very rarely breaks into the other half. Hincapié can do that. Hincapié's great on the ball. Hincapié's a great defender, really good in the air, really good passing, really good bringing it out from the back, and can cover two positions, and he's left-footed. We haven't got a left-footed centre-back in the entire team. Like, it's a travesty. Makes a lot of sense. And now he wants to leave. Nobody else is linked with this guy. His name's not come up with any other channels with any other clubs. It's always been Liverpool been scouting him. I think it's interesting. So I'm going to do a comparison on players. Where are we? Let me close that. Let me close that. Let me close that. Okay, can you see my screen? Scalvini, not for me. 2 major injuries in the last 2 years. He's injured now, by the way. Not for me. I get the Groykrooks one. I get that, but I genuinely believe that Slot wants to give Darwin Núñez a chance. And let's be honest, if you look at the history of Slot with strikers, he's been absolutely brilliant. He's been absolutely brilliant. If you look at Guimaraes, who's at Feyenoord now, who's basically being looked after Nottingham Forest, by the way, he's turned him into a goal machine. I can't see why he wouldn't do the same for Núñez. And also, Núñez isn't going to be doing all that grunt work. Like, Núñez isn't going to be there to do all of the grunt work now, to be involved in the midfield play and win balls like deep in the deep in his half and track back and do all that nonsense. Núñez is there just to score goals. Like, get on your shoulder, get in the box, get us goals. Núñez is there to do that. Okay, so I wanted to cover player comparison. Heavily linked with Bastoni. Richard Hughes used to be in the Inter Milan academy. Bastoni came from Atalanta's academy. So all of this stuff about he's one of their own, he's not. He's not. He's just a really good player for them. Interesting thing about Bastoni, he's never injured, never misses a game. Hincapié, never injured, never misses a game. Lukeba, never injured, never misses a game. Inacio, never injured, never misses a game. Interesting thing about all three, left-footed, 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 left-footed. Interesting thing about all three, centre-back that can play left-back, centre-back that can play left-back, and also left midfield, by the way, this guy. Centre-back that can play left-back, centre-back that can play left-back. Not a coincidence. Also, interesting thing about these three players, was in the Euros, is in the Olympics now, was in the Copa America, and was in the Euros. Richard Hughes has said he's waiting for players, he's waiting for tournaments to finish in all of these 4 tournaments. Lukeba is now playing in the Olympics still. Lukeba was a target before he went to Leipzig. It's just a fact. He was a major target before he went to Leipzig. Okay, Lukeba could be an option. Inacio, we've been watching for years. Inacio could be an option. These two are 1 and 2 on my list, and I think are also on Hughes's list. I think Bastoni is number 1. I think Hincapié is number 2. I think Lukeba's 3, and I think Inacio's 4, and that's why they're listed like this. And if you just want to look at them in more detail, Bastoni's the oldest. He's 25. Bastoni's just proven. Like, he comes straight into the team. He makes us so much better. Eventually, he could replace Virgil van Dijk in 2 years' time. He could. He's a warrior. He's a leader. He plays the football we like. He would score a huge amount of set piece goals as well. He's deadly. He's got a great he's got a great first touch. He had the better season with an average of 7. It's just, there's not much more I can say about this guy. That he is world class. He's world class. He's top 5 in central defenders in the world for me. Hincapié, another very good player. Bastone's price, I mean, I don't know, 80 million, 70, 80 million. Hincapié we could probably get for 50. Lukeba probably 30, maybe 35. Inacio we already know is available for 38 now. His price has been dropped. Let me know what you think. I wasn't going to go into too much detail because I don't want to get everybody's hopes up on players. We can talk about a complete summary on them, just in general on these players. So last season, 28 games, 16 games, 24 games. It's the reason why Hincapié wants to leave. Like I said, he played 40 games, but he didn't play 40 games in the league. He played 16 in the league, and only 10 starts. 24 games. 16 games, 10 subs. By the way, 24 games, 8 as a substitute. 28 games, 4 as a substitute. Solid player, solid all season. Didn't play enough. He played a lot of Euro games and he played a lot of Cup games. Minutes, you can see that Hincapié didn't get enough minutes. Goals, scored one, or scored a goal. Assists, heavily involved in assists. 3 assists, 2 assists. Yellow cards, 5. Doesn't really matter about that. He got a red card. Aerials, better aerials, which is interesting. I mean, he's in Italy, and it depends how you play, really. Comparison with passing. This one's interesting. I haven't got any info on that. I haven't got any info on that. I ain't got any info on that, sorry. You have to sign up for the website for stuff. Is there a filter I can look at? No, there isn't. Sorry, I haven't got that much information on these. It's only given me that much, unfortunately. But it's enough to get us excited. I'll do a bigger, deeper dive when there's more news on these players. But really, I wanted to just get everyone excited about Zubimendi, tell you some more stuff about him, give you some more links about him. I'm just going to quickly refresh now to see if there's been any more updates while we've been talking. Paul Joyce has dropped more news on Zubimendi. Where is it? Paul Joyce. Oh, here we go. Oh, this one's good. This one's really good. According to the Times, Paul Joyce, Liverpool are now confident they will sign Zubimendi this summer and hope the midfielder pushes for a move away from boyhood club. Joyce's initial report claimed that the Reds were considering a move. Who has a release? Now Joyce is saying that Liverpool are confident. Confident. This is great news. And in 40, okay, described. No, that's it. Okay, that's really, really good to hear. Is there any more news sources saying about Zubimendi that they haven't said? Okay, big sources. Zubimendi update. What have we got here? This might be the same stuff, by the way. I'm just reading it before I share it. Zubimendi keen to join Liverpool. Oh, here we go. This is new as well. Okay, so where's this from? Real Sociedad sources. Zubimendi is keen to join Liverpool after having his head turned by the project on offer at Anfield, according to GMS sources. And Slot is looking to activate the release clause written into his contract after making positive progress in tempting him into entertaining a move away. Ooh. GMS sources have been informed that Liverpool were confident that they had made a breakthrough in the pursuit on Wednesday evening, having initially insisted that they were merely exploring the possibility. Oh, this is brilliant news, guys. This is brilliant news. Also, there's an update which has literally just happened. Where is it? This one has literally just happened. Big clue on status of Liverpool's Martin Zubimendi swoop expected soon. Real Sociedad. Okay, now according to Spanish Daily Mail, all eyes are on Union Berlin. Zubimendi is not in the squad for the game and it would be an indication. So whoever said that in the chat, like, don't be talking about stuff that's not true. Like Zubimendi is not on the squad for the game. It's interesting. What else have we got here? Is there more stuff? Sorry, if Bastoni and Zubimendi, I know it's saying in it. I took my Italian friend to Domino's and we went full on. Stuttgart, Hoffenheim, Wolfsburg, Mainz, Mönchengladbach, Leverkusen are all keen on Sepp van der Berg. Leverkusen. Well, that's interesting. I don't. I'm not 100% sure whether whether he goes. I'm not sure whether Sepp van der Berg goes now because it looks like teams aren't going to pay the money. I also wanted to mention this as well. I just don't think we're going to get Anthony Gordon. Like I know there's a lot of people that want him. Like I know you've got a lot of Gordon sexuals. Like I get that, but where does he play? Like he doesn't play on the right. Like he's not good on the right. Like he cuts inside on the left, which he's good at doing. But where does he play on the left? Like he's not going to dislodge. I mean, Slot isn't going to keep Hakpo and Diaz and then sign £100 million Anthony Gordon. And like, what would be the point? Like, nobody wants Diaz. Like, Diaz isn't for sale. Like, Slot has actually said he's really excited and looking forward to playing Diaz next season. But I do think that it will be Hakpo next season, and Diaz will be an impact player. Like, Hakpo's just better. Like, he doesn't play an out-and-out winger on the left-hand side. He doesn't play that football. He plays attackers that can come in as tens, and that's what Hakpo does really well. Like, I think it's interesting. I just he's not. He's not a good dribbler. He's not a good dribbler. Like McManaman was a brilliant dribbler. Anthony Gordon knocks the ball past the player and runs. Like he's got a lot of pace. He's very direct. Like, but I just don't think I don't think he gets in our team. Like he's not going to dislodge Salah, and he's certainly not going to play on the right. He's not good enough. He's not good enough on the right. Like, give me lots of examples of when Anthony Gordon's played on the right for Newcastle and been good, because he just hasn't. Like he's always been on the left, so he's not going to come into our team and play on the left. like, he's not going to do that because we need to get rid of two players. Like Cody Gakpo has been unbelievable in the Euros. Like he's been a really good player, like in major competitions when he's played in his correct position. Like Slot hasn't even played him yet. Like if Cody Gakpo and Diaz had have played like in the US tour, we'd be going, well, we don't need a left-sided player. Like we don't need them. Like look how good they've been. Like look how good Carvalho was on the left under Slot's tactics. Can you imagine how good Cody Gakpo and Diaz are going to be on the left under Slot's tactics if his left-sided player in Carvalho scored 2 goals and played really well? Like, you don't really need to have a conversation about it because you can see how good those players are going to be there, because we've got a player that's not that great, as in Carvalho's, and he's a championship player, a lower Premier League team player. Like he is. Like that's just it. Like, let's just be realistic about it. If we get 20-25 million, we'll sell him, and we should. But Cody Gakpo and Diaz are 50 million plus players. If they'd have played in his position in the US tour, we'd be waxing lyrical about those and going, oh my God, how good's Gakpo been? How good's Diaz been on the left-hand side? Wow, they're going to be amazing next season. Well, they are going to be amazing next season because they're going to play. So signing Anthony Gordon isn't going to work because they don't get played, because you pay 100 million for a guy, he's going to be your first team player. He just is. So for me, it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. It's an odd one. Like, it's a real odd one. Like, I'm still not 100% sure whether that was as real as we thought. I don't know. Like, maybe it's just an opportunistic one. Like, oh, he's available. We can get him for 45 million. And we can get him for average like 70 million. But we throw Joe Gomez in as well. And maybe he was going to get played up front. Maybe he was going to be a straight up striker, like instead of Jota. Maybe I don't know. I really don't know. Like, I don't know. Zubimendi 51, Beer 25, Bastoni. Oof. And then 25 for the goalkeeper. And then all the players that we sell. I mean, what, a net spend of what, 100 million? Like, we've already been told that we've got 120 million of money to spend this year. Like, it's interesting. Anyway, I'm going to leave it there. I hope you enjoyed the show. If you haven't liked or subscribed, please do. If you're a new subscriber, also just write in my comments that you're a new subscriber. I really appreciate it. And next time I do a show, I'll give you a shout out. Looking to grow the channel. I've had over 88 watches on this today, which is amazing. If you can hit that like, it'd be great. It gets the algorithm out. And I'll do another show possibly tomorrow if there's any more news. But big up everyone. Have a wonderful rest of your day, and hopefully we can rejoice and stick one in the face of all of the other football channels that support other clubs once we get Zubimendi over the line. Up the Reds. I'm out of here.